49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is trending in the right direction and now has a chance to play against the Cardinals and their depleted secondary. We'll discuss the latest updates and more on today's 49K Pod.
You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph. It is Thursday, September 18th. Another Third and Thursdays, baby. Wayne, we missed you out there in NOLA, but how you doing?
I'm good. We got the dub. That's the only thing that mattered. I'm glad you guys had a great time in NOLA, the Big Easy. It wasn't easy, though, but we got it done.
It wasn't easy. It was a little harder than it needed to be at times, but I got to say, I like the way that these boys played. It was complimentary football. They balanced each other well. Each side of the ball stepped up when they needed to. It was great to see. And you just know this is the tip of the iceberg, you know? Like this is a team that has a lot of potential, a lot of room for growth. And I think the fact that we're seeing so many positive things so far, really, really great sign. But this was my first show since my preview show last Friday. Like, I didn't get to do a show after the game or anything. So I just want to say, appreciate everyone that, like, you said hello, that I met. You guys are awesome. That was an incredible trip. It was great meeting all of you. So appreciate everyone. And yeah, let's do it again sometime, man. I think next time, every time the 49ers play in NOLA, I'm going to have to be out there. You better come too.
I will be there the next time the Niners are in
Let's
Nolens.
go.
I got that. That's it. I will definitely be. I might not make it to the game, but I'm going to be in NOLA. I can tell you that right now.
Let's go. Well, Wayne, like, are you planning to go on to any away games?
Yes, I'll be in Houston and I'll be in New York.
Let's go. Oh, New York's going to be lit.
Yeah.
I already know New York will be lit.
For sure.
But see,
it's my neck of the woods.
New York's so big that you're not going to feel like there's that many Niner fans till you're actually at the game or at the tailgate, you know?
Absolutely.
But that'll be a movie, you know? It's going to be a great time. But we got plenty to talk about of this 2-0 team, and we got some injury updates, mostly on the positive side. It doesn't look like that, Wayne, when you look at the practice report from Wednesday. There's a lot of names here on the did not practice. You got Juwan Jennings, Kyle Juszczyk with the concussion, Cyron Neal as well, Spencer Burford knee injury, Yetur Gross-Matos knee injury. But you got a few vet days. The vet days for Trent, CMC, and Bosa, all right? We'll forgive him for that. But, Wayne, the big one here is Brock Purdy. Limited. Remember, last week we were talking like 2-5. Oh, my God, can they win these next 5 games possibly without Brock Purdy? Today, we're talking about he might suit up.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle Shanahan said it's a possibility. And worst case scenario, he'll be the emergency quarterback. Like that's kind of how I took what Kyle said. Like, so best scenario, he'll play starting. Worst case scenario, he'll be that emergency quarterback dressed in the throwback jerseys this week at home. The white throwback jerseys, my actual favorite throwback jerseys for the San Francisco 49ers. So look, Brock being limited, is this bunch? There's many tales to that because looking at the footage and film that a lot of the people put out there, like, he looked good. And I'm not gonna lie, he was moving, he was grooving, he was running, he was throwing, he was planting. So
we got some of those, Wayne. We got some of those videos here.
I didn't mean to jump ahead, you know, but I just, you know, here's my tale, right, Steph? Just look at the plant foot. If the foot is plant and the throw, and do you see a grimace on his face? I'm looking at smiles. I see a smile. Watch. Yeah, no grimace. Like, I don't know if he's playing through pain or how much pain he's in with this turf toe or whatever they want to call it, because it was not coined a turf toe by Kyle Shanahan, but it is a foot injury. So if he can, you know, wither through the pain, through the storm of the pain, he's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to start. He's going to play. You know, and that's what it is for Brock Purdy. Like, Brock Purdy will be starting this week in the home opener, season home opener against Arizona Cardinals, division rival game. I know a lot of people might not want that because they want Brock to be fully healthy. I think Brock is fully healthy. I mean, or he wouldn't be practicing.
I think the main thing here that everyone is thinking, and this after a game where Mac Jones played tremendously, like he looked really good out there, is do you just sort of, I get what they're doing throughout the week, right? You got to milk it. You got to make it seem to the Cardinals like, Brock could play. But should the 49ers be a little more conservative on this decision, just knowing that, Mac Jones was able to hold it down for a week. Yes, Brock Purdy could come back, but like if he's back, like is he not going to be 100%? Should we wait till he's 100%? Probably the following week, right? Like, is that to me? That's sort of the decision that they need to make. And Wayne, I thought it was interesting. So John Lynch was on GMBR earlier today, right? One thing he said, obviously, he's encouraged by Brock being back at practice. We all are. But he said, quote, "We will make an organizational decision on where Brock's at later in the week." And I'm like, organizational decision? Like, that sounds serious. Like, that's not, like that sounded like, okay, like maybe they're considering everything. This is your QB1. You just paid a lot of money to this long season ahead. So I don't know. Like that kind of just made me think, like, are they thinking smart? Are they thinking long term sort of with Brock?
Honestly, it all depends on what the injury is. We still don't know what the injury is. They have not diagnosed him with the actual coin term of the injury. It was turf toe, then it was a version of turf toe, and Kyle Shanahan said it's not turf toe. So I think it really comes down to how much he can weather through whatever, if he's in pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if he's able to go out there, I think you put him out there because he is your starting quarterback and you are paying him $265 million, over the term of his contract. So, God forbid Mac Jones comes out there and lays an egg and then we're going to be like, oh, we should have played Brock. He was able to go.
Right.
Like, so it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. My thing is if Brock practices and he gets through practice healthy, he goes from limited. He'll be listed as questionable 9 times out of 10. And if he's able to go, you rock with him. And if Brock is struggling, you pull him out and you put in your backup. That is what the backup is there for. It's called insurance. That's what the backup quarterback is for. And yes, can you win with Mac Jones? Absolutely. We just proved it. We won a game with Mac Jones. Can we continue to win games with Mac Jones? Well, that's to be seen. But if we don't have to use our backup quarterback, I wouldn't, I'd rather go with the starter. Just the guy that just the starter. That's who I'd rather go with. Now, if he's unhealthy, Steph, and he's not getting through these practices, which today's practice is going to be crucial.
Yes.
If he's not getting through practice, then we could put our gear toward Mac Jones. But right now, sounds like the signs are up for Brock starting, and I think this is just all tactics for Gannon preparing for 2 quarterbacks. Like.
Yeah, and 2 pretty good quarterbacks based on what we saw from Mac on Sunday. And, also Kyle Shanahan was asked, what are the conversations like with Brock Purdy, just knowing that Mac Jones played as good as he did? And Kyle pretty much said, like, really the conversation doesn't change. It's always about, okay, how he's feeling, if he thinks he's ready to go. So really it seems like the decision might hinge mainly on Brock, right? And how much he feels he'd be ready for. But then what John Lynch said, I thought was interesting too, because organizational decision makes it feel like it's not so much on Brock. At the same time. This comment here from Strawberry Reacts, good, interesting perspective here. If you put him in as an emergency quarterback, that's essentially benching Brock for Mac. You can never go back if you do that. I don't know if I agree that, it's benching Brock for Mac, and I don't agree that you couldn't go back. You're definitely going back to the guy that has the bigger paycheck, I tell you that. But yeah, I mean, as Giannis says as well, like him being the backup makes no sense. Either you play him or he's out. I'm fine with that too.
I just feel like it's a home game. And so the reason why I was kind of cool with that emergency quarterback comment is because this your quarterback and you want to see him out there in that first home opener, whether he plays or not, dressed. I think that's just kind of like what it is. I don't think it's in the terms of you're benching him. It's just more like, hey, we're gonna rock with Mac this week. You get another week to recover, but I
Yeah.
just want you dressed and be ready just in case.
Just in case,
Just in case. You know what I'm saying. So I think it's more optics more than anything.
Should the worst happen to Mac Jones if he does have to play another week, trust me, you guys do not want to see Adrian Martinez as as the quarterback that has to go in for him.
That's what I'm saying.
If you can help it, right? Like last week they couldn't help it. He was
Correct.
the QB2, his backup
Correct.
to Mac.
Correct.
This week you might be able to help it, and you could get a Brock Purdy at 80%. And you'd feel better about that than an Adrian Martinez to close out the game if it came to that.
Facts. Facts.
Facts. Well, the Cardinals are dealing with some injuries themselves. And to me, Wayne, these kind of go hand in hand because whatever quarterback has to play, going to be throwing to this Cardinal secondary, and it's kind of depleted right now. So they got their starting corner, Garrett Williams, who just went to IR, got hurt last week. Defensive lineman LJ Collier is going on IR as well. Max Melton, he was spared. He's back at practice. Good for him. And your guy, the Michigan man, Will Johnson, won't be practicing this week. So his status is unknown. But Wayne, I mean, if the Cardinals secondary is going to be hurting like this, I mean, you kind of 49ers could strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, this is one of my keys to victory. I mean, they have a pretty depleted, band-aid, bruised, battered secondary. So you try to take advantage of it. Now, what I do expect is these guys to line up and try to take away the run. So stacking the box. So
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals were going to force the Niners to throw anyway. And look, I expect every team's defense to do this. Like you're never going to get an honest defense versus a Kyle Shanahan's offense ever again. So we can get out of that. And I know a lot of people want us to run. But it's kind of hard to run. There's like 8, 9, 10 people up there. Like, you know what I mean? And they just playing with one DB. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be wise with it. Yeah, you can run against an 8 or 9 man box, but you still got to be wise with it. That's why I was probably a little bit more harder on Mac Jones last week than anybody, even though I talked about how well he played, but I really focused on the fact that he held the ball way too long for many pass attempts.
Yeah.
And he has to get into what Kyle Shanahan's offense is, and then the adjustments in the Kyle Shanahan offense. Because when you see the 8 or 9 box and you're not going to be checking it, running, you got to check it down. You got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. You can't wait for that big play to develop. You got like 8 people coming at you, bro. So the pressure going to be there. That's why I would love to see him play again, just to see if he can kind of learn from the growing pains of the previous week. And even he said that, though, Steph, right? Like, at the presser, he was like, yeah, man, don't blame my offensive line. I got to get rid of the ball. Like, and he knows.
I'm not blaming that offensive line. I think they're playing really well. And,
Pass pro is great. I would say that.
Great. Some 49er fans aren't going to admit it because, holding on to old narratives, I think. But they've looked pretty good so far. Like week 1, Brock Purdy's time to throw was 3.05. Mac Jones this past week was 2.81. That's time. That's good time.
That's great time.
If your offensive line is giving you that much time, that reflects well on them. Yeah. All right. So we need to act as such. Right now, this offensive line is doing some good work. But on that note, like we were also talking about injuries, right? We didn't talk about Ben Barch, Wayne, on that injury report because he's now on injured reserve. And, the 49ers made a couple of moves as well. Braden Willis promoted to 53, tackle Brandon Parker on the practice squad now. But you know what this means, Wayne?
Oh, yeah.
Connor Colby. He's got a big opportunity coming up this week. And if we count last week's game as an opportunity for Connor Colby, boy, did he step up. I thought he played tremendously. Shout out to Brad. Brad has been, so if you guys don't follow the SF Niners, Brad on YouTube, Brad Graham, the GOAT of offensive lineman, analysis here, this 49ers parts. He's been on the Connor Colby train since training camp, and he saw him like immediately, pointed him out. I spent many practices standing next to him, and he'd be like, "Oh, like Kobe's looking nice," and I'm like, "Okay." It started posting about it. Now we're seeing it come to fruition, like fully, because the way he stepped in and looked as good as he did, like this kid looks legit. 7th rounder.
Yeah, for me, this was the steal of the draft. And it was going to come down to opportunity. Just going back to his college film, playing at Iowa, outside zone, that's his strength, right? Like that's him. Pass pro is going to be good. He can move when they get the ball to the outside, so he's got to get to that second level. You can see the good run blocking right there from Connor Colby. As he's pulling to get out to the outside, so that Christian McCaffrey can pick where he's going to bounce or cut back in. But look, Connor Colby, I just think is the steal of the draft. You can't get a 3rd, 4th round guy in the 7th round and overlook that. And I've been screaming that, like, wow, the Niners got a gem right here. And I don't think people realize it because of the, not necessarily the log jam on the offensive line, but they don't feel he's a 7th round pick, so he can't be good, right? Like, now it's all about system schematic fit. It's all about fit. It's all about fit with Kyle Shanahan's offense. We don't go at we have a type, and we go after those guys. No one had Dominic Pooney. No one had we're starting to see, Kyle Shanahan try to shape the offense in the way he wants his scheme to be run. And so we just got to sit back and relax and kind of trust Chris Forster on the situation. Like earlier in the career, we was patching people together. We inherited some guys. Guys retired. We traded for some guys, and now you're starting to see the 49ers. They drafted Colton McKivitz. Look where he is now.
Yeah.
And so the Niners have been drafting guys, and I think they're just coming together. It's all about continuity. So the more that this team line plays together, the better they're going to get. Think of it as a chain, right? And when you have a link in the chain that needs to be strengthening, you just got to keep it going, grease it up a little bit, oil it up, blah, 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 blah. They got a new link in the chain, and I think that's going to be really good. He's lined up next to Trent. All favor going to this young fella. Let's see what he's going to do against another ferocious defensive line, though. Like he's got some young guys to deal with this week.
That is important, right? That is important. I think that's the context of it being the Saints. We can't overlook. But I'm going to just say that, I guess, from the technique perspective, like it looks like he knows what he's doing, and I think that's a good start. So he'll probably face tougher games ahead, but I think I like what I'm seeing from him so far. But really quickly, before we move on to 3rd down conversions here, I just wanted to piggyback on the point you made, Wayne, that the 49ers have found some dudes for this offensive line, and you know what that means? They ain't changing their philosophy for nothing. That's
the most stubborn philosophy. It's going to stay
and
stubborn.
It's worked. As much as we love to criticize them, it has worked for them. There have been some years where like the offensive line is like, okay, like it could stand to be better, of course, but
absolutely
they needed to be serviceable, and it has been, Man, no, we're never going to see a high offensive line pick with this team, maybe again. But wait, let's get to these 3rd down conversions, and it's with the same topic. So I want to ask you this. And again, for this new segment, we're going to convert, which means agree, or we're going to punt, which means disagree. And chat, get in here as well. Here's mine, Wayne. Ben Bartch ain't getting his job back. Are you converting or are you punting?
Converting means like,
yeah, you agree.
I agree, definitely. It's done. He's done. It's a done deal. He is this year's John Feliciano. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And when he comes back, he just has to be ready to go in case of an injury. It's unfortunate. Look, you can't. If you snooze, you lose. And the game is don't get injured. I hate to say it. I don't know how to say that. You can't get injured because the next man up is ready. The next man up is ready. If Connor and let me just say this too. I don't care how well or how bad Connor Colby plays, give him the reps. At this point, don't go backwards. You let Spencer Burford rock out for a whole freaking season as a tackle on the right side. As a guard, excuse me, on the right side. Let this kid rock out regardless. Let him get through the growing pains, the bumps, the bruises. He's going to have his high moments. He's going to have his low moments. But this will be the best time to shape him and sharpen him up, with the iron that you have out there on the offensive line. So I don't think you look back regardless of how well or how bad he plays.
Wayne, I mean, we're seeing a kind of rookie young player renaissance with this team right now. And so far it's working out for them. So I don't think you change anything either if it's working, right? Right now, the 49ers are fourth in rookie snaps per team, only behind the Dolphins, the Browns, and the Patriots. So I like that philosophy, just keep it going with the rooks. He's going to learn more along the way. You're already seeing it for some of these other guys. The jump from Micah Williams, Alfred Collins, Stouts, like week 1 to week 2, I think was like pretty freaking noticeable, right? So why not keep it going with the rest of them?
Yeah, I think it was a jump for mostly all the rookies. I mean, some of the rookies got picked on. Let me just keep it a buck. I like Siegel, and I think Siegel's going to be a fine player, but he's just got to figure out his technique against some of those athletic tight ends. And, just looking at this week, I'm just like, oh, shoot. like if he's going to have to cover Trey McBride, he's going to have to cover Trey McBride. But let him grow. Let him learn. Let him go through the fire. Same thing with Upton Stout. Let these guys go through the fire, in their rookie seasons, because this is only going to make you drafted them for a reason, and this is only going to make them that much better. I'm all about allowing the talent to grow through trial and error. Like, that's just me. That's who I am as a person, and I think that's the best way of watching people progress, grow, and all that good stuff, mate. Like, grow through messing up. Like, most geniuses have done that. Like, they messed up 100,000 billion times until they get it right. And so I think that's the best thing for this team. I think no one's going to give Jed York credit, but I think Jed York putting a stamp down on how he spends his money was immaculate, because it's forcing Kyle and John to really kind of reshape how they build this roster. No more high expensive free agents. No more this is that and that. Listen, get the right guy. Get the guy you say you can make work, and bring him in here and let them develop. I think I got to commend, round of applause to Jay York for doing what he did. I think that was spot on.
It was necessary.
Yeah.
We didn't like it at the time, but I think it was necessary. And look, they're back to being competitive, at least through these first 2 games, 2-0. I mean, that's a pretty good sign. And Wayne, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but the 49ers have a lot of puppies that are turning into dogs, right? So that's the point, that like, if you go with an older veteran who, say, can make some mistakes, go with the rookie, because the rookie has the ceiling of getting better. The vet is at that point in his career where, like, he is who he is. But at least if you got those rookies playing in there, I mean, they could at least learn from their mistakes, right? So
point made. Point made. I mean, and look, that's what you want, and you want to see how quickly they learn from the mistake.
Exactly.
Right, because that will let you know if they really got it. They understood the concept. Are they going to try something different, And we're not just talking about the rookies. We're just talking about young players in general, like Renardo Green, D. Winters. Yeah, like young players in general. I always said D. Winters' biggest issue was health. And right now, he is healthy, and he is playing lights out football.
I'm going to knock on wood, Wayne, because that boy got to stay healthy. He looks too good out there.
That's what I'm saying. But if he can stay healthy, it's good for him, because he had the talent, he had the athleticism, and he just needed the opportunities, the reps, to put it all together. Right now, it's working. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. All right, this next 3rd down conversion here in chat, let me know what you think as well. The 49ers pass blocking is better than the run blocking. Convert or punt?
It's converting. Like run blocking is terrible. Like I don't. We rushed. We're averaging 98 yards over the first two games. We had 70 yards this last game. We had over 100 in the first game, and so we're not even a 100-yard rushing team yet. And so I don't know if this is by design, and we try to run the ball. We're
Definitely tried.
we try right. We're trying to run. I don't know if Kyle's kind of like playing a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, just when you think we're not going to run it and then we hit you with the... Here's the issue with the Niners run game. No explosive plays. And so I think there's 2 explosive plays over the 2 weeks. And when I say explosive, that's just plus 10 yards, Steph. So we haven't seen the 20-plus run, the 30-plus run, the home run, right? We haven't seen those explosive plays. And I think the offensive line and run blocking is part of it. I think not having George Kittle is a huge part of it. And so...
Sure.
And then I think the defensive scheme toward what the Niners are trying to do is also a part of it. So that's 3 parts right there. And if the defense is selling out to take away the run, you gotta throw. And so, but run blocking needs to be better. I will say that. I don't think it's great.
3.2 yards per carry is what the 49ers running backs are averaging right now. And I agree, Wayne. I think it's probably a combination of different things. You know what I have noticed? I feel like early in the game, at least for these first 2, the offensive line doesn't look as strong, right? Like early, like they're giving up some pressures. The run blocking's not great. But as the game kind of goes on, they get a little more comfortable and they kind of tighten up a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed the same thing, but I feel like... And if you look at it from that standpoint and in the context of a full season, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like it's a chain, right? So cohesion is important. I think as the season goes on, it'll probably get better.
Absolutely.
But as of right now, yes, this run blocking is
it's not atrocious though. It's just not what you and I are used to watching. I mean, you said we're averaging 3.2. I mean, damn, that's good. But that ain't Niners.
That's 29th in the NFL.
But 3.2 is not a bad number. That means
it's not like 1.
Right. No, right. Well, I'm just saying, like, you get 3 yards per carry, and so you figure on third down it's 3rd and 1. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can convert that. You know what I mean? What I'm saying though is we're used to 4.2.
Yeah.
That used to be our standard. And so we're 1 yard less than what our minimum is. And so and not having the explosive plays, getting penalties, holds, and callbacks on something like that's hurting the Niners, And so they got to be better in run blocking. I'm not going to say that they're atrocious. It's just not the same. I don't know. I don't get why. It's the same offensive line. Like, what the hell are we doing differently?
Well, I think it's more so kind of what you were saying earlier. The way that defenses are playing against the run right now, I think is making it hard to get those explosives. It's making it hard to get more than 3.2 on an average run, And there's been a couple where I'm just like, oh, like CMC's this close to breaking one, He's this close. He'll get it, right? But it's not going to be as easy to come by as maybe it's been in the past. And also the way you can kind of loosen that run D up a little bit is to be successful in the pass game. And I think so far through these first 2 games, like the 49ers have had success in that. We could see another week of that possibly with this Cardinals, secondary hurting a little bit. And maybe come week 4, the Rams maybe looking at the 49ers like a different...
That's what I was saying. Right. And then
keep
bam.
Keep them honest.
And then you smack them with the run. That's why I said maybe I don't want to say it's by design, but I feel like it still can work in the Niners' favor.
Yeah.
It can still work in the Niners' favor. And then you get that defense because I'm not trying to look past the Cardinals, but if you get to that Rams defense, you already know what they are. They are fired up. Pass rushing, pressure, this is that and the third. And so it's going to be probably a hell of a throwing game until you can break off and bust for one of those explosive plays. but we're not even playing our explosive play runners. Like there's no Garindo. Like Jordan James has a little bit of speed. You're not even playing those guys to get those explosive plays. And we saw one jet sweep, one reverse with Ricky Pearsall, which was for negative, but you're not getting those either. I mean, there's no Jacob Cowling back there. And so like the creativity is minimum at right now. We're not even 4 weeks in. And so I'm not worried about it, but I do think we need to get some better run blocking up front for better explosive plays. Like we need a couple explosives.
For sure. I can't wait for Kittle to be back. I think that alone will look different. And, honestly, Tundras, Farrell, they've been fine. It hasn't been like in years past where like, oh my God, like this TE2 is terrible. But, still, I think it'd still make a world of a difference when Kittle gets back. But yeah, I mean, looking at this chart, Wayne, so seeing the apex here of run blocking and pass blocking, the 49ers are in the good category, meaning they're good and good at both. You see here they're better at pass blocking than they are run blocking, as we've been saying, but still in that good range where they can stay balanced. Like you see these teams in this top corner, those are teams that I'd say are balanced. And you see the Cardinals not far behind the 49ers in the run blocking category and just about the same place for pass blocking. So, it'll be an interesting battle coming up.
Yep. Like they're good. They
are, but Wayne, you know what? I was thinking this, right? They've played, and you could maybe say the same thing about the Niners, but they've played the Panthers and they've played the Saints, right?
Right.
The 49ers played the Saints and they played the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks defensive line is crazy.
It's tough. Right? It's tough. It's tough. It's tough in what they're asked to do. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I thought Seattle was able to do more. Now, if the Saints wasn't as injured in their secondary, their defensive line might have been able to do more. Like this is a weird thing to talk about. But I'm not going to sit there and say like, oh, it's the Saints. Oh, it's the no. The Niners figured it out and they did what they needed to do because you only getting that team that's fronting you every single week. The Panthers came clawing back. Like, I don't know what the Arizona Cardinals defense did, but that's the defense I want from the beginning to the end. You know what I'm saying? Because they came clawing back, and I believe there was a little bit more time on the clock. They might have won this game. And if you go back to the first week, the Saints came clawing back. That's the trend, Steph. I just ding, 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 ding. And I don't want the Niners to be trailing at any point in this game. That's not what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is remember last year, our defense started off firepower. Bam, bam, bam. Second half, they were dead. That's the Cardinals defense this year.
Yeah.
So if you bang them up, boom, 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 and then in that second half, you just crank the oven dial up a little bit, and they're gonna fall. They're gonna fold. They're gonna fold.
The Cardinals have, I think they're one of the top, if not the top team, as far as
they got a crazy
leads. Like most of their drives, like they've had a lead in, right? So
got you.
They've been comfortable, but to your point, Wayne, like they do kind of start folding towards the end of it. And honestly, I think they'll find a harder time getting a lead, at least that consistently, as they were doing the first 2 weeks against this Niners defense and against this Niners offense. So I think as of right now, it's small sample size, right? But I think these teams, based on how they've played so far, are just pretty close to each other right now. So, all right, let's do this, Wayne. 3rd and goal. What's the 49ers' biggest goal this game?
This game? I mean, execution. I think execution is going to be something that they're going to, because it's a division game and these games are weird. Both teams know each other very well, and they really can go either way. I don't care if the Niners were like 15-0 and the Cardinals, whatever, were like 1-5 15 or whatever, 1-14. It doesn't matter. Like, these two teams are gonna play each other. It's like almost scripted to where it's gonna be somewhat of a good game. So the Niners offensively, I'm looking for execution. We talked about them attacking the secondary for sure. They're gonna definitely come out and try to run the ball, but it's more like just executing and taking what the defense is giving them. Like, because that to me, no forcing passes, no forcing this. Like, take what the defense. If the check down is there,
Yeah.
get it to the check down. It's okay. It's okay. It's part of the game. So take what the defense is giving you and execute that. But that's part of execution. I went through the film. Mac Jones missed some check downs. He missed a few check downs. Like, he didn't even see the check down. Like, he didn't even try to check down. He tried to get the ball down the field for an incomplete pass, but you had the check down wide open. So it's just like, I want them to execute. That would be my thing on offense.
That's very Brock Purdy of him, right? Like, which is funny because that first season where we saw Brock, it was like borderline dink and dunk, like, just getting the ball out quickly. And now, like, Brock sort of evolved where he is trying to look for the big play. Sometimes you're like, just get the ball out. I think we saw that with Mac in this first game as well. It's like, man, just get the ball out. But he's got an arm, and I thought he was being pretty aggressive, and he could fit the ball in some tight windows as well, and he's got some nice touch on his throws where he could get it over defenders real nicely. So I think he just wants to see what he could get away with, and if that don't work out for him, maybe he'll check it down. But
and to be fair, Brock used to do that.
Yeah.
I remember Brock getting cursed out for throwing balls into really tight windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. But Mac, you the backup, dog.
He want to show out, though. He wants to show out.
Hey, man, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Just execute, though. Like, if you're going to do it, get it done. That's all I said. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mad at what they choose to do. Just find a way to make sure execution, not just from the quarterback perspective, though. The players got to catch the ball. Receivers got to run the right routes. The blocking has to be good. So I'm talking as a whole. Like, execution has to be on point. This is a division game, and you want to win this game. Like, this is a game you have circled. Week 1 was circled. Week 3 is circled. Circle that.
All these games are circled. Yeah. All right. So for me, the 49ers' biggest goal this week is keeping Kyler Murray in check.
Okay. Defensive.
All right.
Defensive side. Yeah. I like that.
So that to me means both from the passing standpoint, but also we know he'd be running like a little squirrel out there. So keep your eyes on him. Do we see maybe D Winters as a spy? Because we've seen the sideline to sideline speed from Winters, and it's up there. That guy's a heat-seeking missile. So I wouldn't mind it if Winters was a spy, although, sometimes he might be on coverage duty on Trey McBride, right? Like, and Winters pretty good in coverage. What we did see last week, which I thought was interesting, Jair Brown coming in as like a third nickel safety. Yes, exactly. He's, floating around in the box, lining up alongside, the linebackers. Do we see that again this week and use Jair Brown as a spy? Like, I just love the new wrinkles that Saleh's throwing in there. So far, we've seen new things in each game. Yeah, again, it's just 2 weeks in, right? But it wouldn't even surprise me if for this game and this particular quarterback offense that you're going up against, you see an even different wrinkle, right? Where, it's a game plan specific plan of attack against a guy like Kyler Murray.
I like that you went with the defensive side because Kyler Murray is the key, right? And so, like, everything unlocks with his ability and what he's able to do. And so, like, getting him down is not easy because he's just a little guy that can kind of scramble. And it's not I'm not worried about containment. I'm not worried about containment. Like, this I feel like they contained Kyler Murray well last year. The issue is how deep are our linebackers going to be playing in coverage? Because that is what the Arizona Cardinals are going to force the linebackers to do. Move them suckers back, force them guys to cover your guys out. That's going to give him 15 yards with nobody in front of him. I can't remember the last time, Steph, I seen the 49ers use a spy. I don't even think Robert Saleh used a spy when he was first here. It's just something we don't do. But this is a different game. Maybe it's a new wrinkle in time. I don't know. But if you're gonna use a spy, that means you're leaving somebody open in coverage. Somebody's a suspect out there that can get open. And if you're talking about D. Winters being your best coverage guy, Fred Warner being your best coverage guy at the linebacker level, like what safety are you trusting? And I love Jair Brown more than anybody. I'm not trusting Jair Brown against the Kyler Murray. The angles will be the angles won't be right. Like they won't, and that would be the wrong person to use as a spot. Now use him around the line of scrimmage as a third linebacker, big nickel. That's different. But I don't know about spying. The spy is a great technique. It's just that you're leaving somebody open in coverage downfield, and if Murray makes the spy miss or controls the spy, that ball's getting tossed.
Spy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a CIA mission or something.
Right? Oh, man, that was my favorite joint. So, no, man, listen, I'm not afraid of Kyler Murray, and I know the Niners aren't afraid of Kyler Murray, but he is their most dangerous kind of weapon because of what he's able to do with his feet. And he could he's a good quarterback. I know a lot of people give him a lot of flack, But I expect the Niners defensive front also to do their job. I think containment is not going to be the issue. I think, like I said, the issue is going to be how deep are the linebackers going to be, because Kyler is smart and he says, "Oh, you're giving me 15? I'll take the 15 yards."
Yeah. Yep. And this is a good point from Rob D. He says Saleh was good against mobile quarterbacks while in New York. Maybe he learned a little some. Honestly,
different makeup there though, right? Like different
slightly,
players?
Yeah. Of course. I feel like the 49ers as a whole, the defense has been better against mobile quarterbacks than they were
they've gotten better for sure
3-4 years ago. So, maybe we see it even better with Saleh, right? Like it can't be much worse, right? So yeah, I think I'm gonna trust Saleh as well. And I'm going to think that he has a pretty good plan for, how to defend this Arizona offense. So, all right, Wayne, 3rd and long. What's the toughest challenge for the 49ers this week?
Toughest challenge.
You want me to go first? I got one.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the Kyler Murray thing. I just think balancing disruption and containment. And I know you said you're not worried about containment, but you also don't want to give Kyler Murray a bunch of time. So you do want to disrupt him, right? Like you do want to get some pressure on him, but you do also not want him like escaping the pocket and running around as well. So I guess like that's a tough balance to me. I think my preference is keeping him in the pocket and like collapsing from within, which that's where interior pressure comes in, like Michael, as well as Alfred Collins. We saw them have a good game last week. And then the ends, of course. Like, if Bosa gets the same push that he's been getting these last 2 weeks, man.
Oh, he is.
Bro, Bosa's on one right now. And Bryce Huff is fast as hell. So, yeah, I think they could do it. It's just about finding that balance.
That's a good word, man. Balance. Like, the biggest challenge for me, again, is just stem around Kyler Murray, and it's just his ability to be able to do a few things. He has to throw the ball, and the fact that he can run, I think, just makes him the biggest threat. Now they got some pieces. And so to go away from that too, the Niners got to stop the run too. Like, I'd rather Kyler Murray be throwing the ball 40, 50 times.
Connor's had some games against
now. You want to talk about somebody that owns the Niners up front? I don't know if this is the show I could do that, but listen, that dude owns the Niners. He even owns Fred Warner. And y'all know I love me some Fred Warner, right? Yeah, he owns Fred. I'm sorry. Like, I've watched him truck Fred Warner. Now, we know the cause to the Niners' run defense last year. The up front was terrible. And by the time Fred Warner was shedding that offensive lineman, he was getting smacked by the running back. So like it's totally different this year. But I need the Niners defense, I think the biggest challenge on both sides is to kind of come out as the aggressor. Like they gotta come out as the aggressor. They're the home team. They gotta set the tone and let them know this is how we playing football. I want to see Christian McCaffrey laying the shoulder pass down on their linebackers, and I want to see Fred Warner knocking helmets off. Like, set the tone, and this game will go in their favor easily.
When you saw that video of Fred saying, like, I'm so close to, like, a fumble.
Yep.
I feel like the game moves at a snail's pace for Fred now. At a snail's pace. Like, it's what's that movie, Wayne, where they had like this? It was like an animated movie, DreamWorks, I think. The sloth working the
oh damn it! It was with the animals, Zootopia. Bam! Zootopia. I know my movies.
That's how slow the game is moving for Fred. He's moving 100 miles an hour.
When that happens, though, so you call it that. I call it the Matrix. Like Fred's living in the Matrix, and so he's like able to take or Minority Report. He's able to move the stuff around as the game slows down. That is when players are at the ultimate level of their game. You hear players say it all the time. Oh, you said it, Rob D. You hear players say it all the time. The game is slowed down, and when I hear that and I see the production on the football field, I'm like, damn. That's a real thing. Like that's a real thing. Like the game is super slow. Yeah, it is.
He's good. Seen things like that. Most people would even dream of.
Wait, there was a play he called out and was on it. Like, remember he was like last week against the Seahawks. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was watching the tape. I knew what they was gonna do." Like this is the stuff I'm talking about, and. It's those little things that I think makes guys like D. Winters. Tatum Bethune was laying the biggest hits on special teams. Last week. God damn. So I'm infatuated with the linebackers room. I know Johnny Holland is probably the most happiest coach on the 49ers roster because he got his guy solid back, and those two work hand in hand. Like, D'Amico was good. D'Amico was D'Amico, and they were good, but it's nothing like having Saleh co-sign your vision of how you want these linebackers to play. And I think Johnny Holland is definitely doing a great job. I can't wait to be, I got posed the question yesterday on my show, Steph. Could this be a game where you activate Nick Martin and utilize his sideline to sideline speed?
I mean,
I want to get your take on that.
He is pretty fast. And, so Nick Martin is like, he's a heat-seeking missile as well, although sometimes he goes a little too fast and he misses guys. Well, in this case, maybe that even works out for the 49ers because it's like Kyler Murray makes guys miss as well. So if he's trying to make Nick Martin miss and, Nick Martin is prone to maybe taking a bad angle, the angles might just work out. Like they kind of cancel each other out and he's right in the right spot,
Just basic math. You know what I'm saying? Basic math, basic geometry, the negative times negative equals a positive. That's what we're getting right here. Yeah.
Exactly. That'd be interesting. I know a lot of people are anxious to see Nick Martin. I don't know. I assume he's not quite ready yet. But that he has what it takes that when he does get out there, he's not looking back. I think we know that for sure. And the 49ers have just been so lucky, so spoiled with the guys that they bring in and are able to develop. It's almost unfair. Like we're Wayne through 2 weeks. I'm looking at this linebacker core like this is the best linebacker core in the league.
Hands down. The depth is there.
Yeah.
Even not to cut you off, but even on the practice squad,
Storms.
Because you're activating Curtis Robinson, right? That's a key piece. And if he had to come in and play linebacker, he would be light years better than what's the guy from last year? He's with the Giants now. 45. He was terrible.
Why am I having his?
Because we supposed to. He's with. I think he's with the Giants now. He was terrible. No, not Campbell. Not Campbell. Not Campbell. Number 45. Played special teams, but had to come in and play because we had tons of injuries.
He was like a vet.
Flanagan Fowles.
Flanagan Fowles. Yeah.
That's the role Curtis Robinson is playing this year, and I think he's light years better than DFF. And so if we needed him to be in the rotation of a linebacker, the Niners got linebackers, man.
Did you see this, Wayne? That even
I saw
Patrick
the tweet
Willis,
today. Yes.
Yo, like even Patrick Willis is hyping up this linebacker group, and that's coming from the damn GOAT. I'm gonna share this really quickly.
I said this the other day, and I'm sorry, Patrick Willis. And if you choose to unfollow me, I understand.
What'd you say?
But he's not gonna be the GOAT for much longer, man.
Oh, damn, like that, huh?
Listen, he's still a GOAT.
Fred, you know what, Fred? I mean,
hear me out though. Patrick Willis is still a GOAT because once you're a GOAT, you're a GOAT. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't go to any other animal. Like, you're a GOAT. You're a GOAT, right? But Fred is about to join the GOATs, and I think he's going to be the best linebacker that the 49ers has ever had because the way the game has changed and his hybrid ability. And we did this last night on Nitty Gritty Niners. Peachy said that he could play probably another 5 years. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's only 28. Right.
Fred created, he created this new version of linebackers that we're seeing.
Everybody's been trying to copy it. and the Cardinals tried with Isaiah Simmons, didn't work. And you got guys trying to do and emulate what the Niners have done with Fred. And there's only one Fred. There's only one. And so that right there, I think, is going to even boost his longevity. So even if he played 5 years at an elite level at a linebacker, guess where he can drop back to? Safety.
Which is where it all started for him.
That's where it all began.
Shoot, man.
But nah, Patrick Willis is the GOAT, but Fred Warner is definitely. He gets that Super Bowl.
I know. Legacy cemented. But, you know, you can say that for so many 49ers in that era. I'm sick just thinking about it. But for the audio listeners, I'm going to just read off this tweet that Patrick Willis sent out literally this morning, a few hours ago. He said the 49ers have had some dogs, all caps, at linebacker over the years. To have one of the best in the game right now, lining up next to a backer who's leveling up every snap. Sheesh, that's special. Maybe it's too early, but y'all, talk to me. And there's so many emojis. Like, my dude is hyped. He's hyped along with us. I love this so much. So
I miss him.
I miss him so much.
Yeah,
You're right.
His career ended early due to the foot injury. Toe injury, foot injury. But either way, like there would never be another Patrick Willis. It's funny because there will never be another Ray Lewis. There will never be another Patrick Willis. There'll never be another Luke Kuechly. Like, they all were elite at the position, doing something, different. Like they all brought something there, and that's why I said Fred will have a GOAT jacket because the way no one processes the game better than Fred Warner. Like, Fred Warner is literally a linebacker safety playing quarterback. The processing is ridiculous, and that's what makes Fred scary. Sorry, I'm hyped on Fred.
Everyone's talking about the turf toe now. Everyone's like,
I'm sorry, I knew it was turf toe.
See, that's why you're careful about the turf toe.
Yeah, but the Purdy thing, it wasn't ruled as turf toe. Now, Aaron Rappaport said, right, he said it was turf toe. Then he said it was a version of turf toe, and now what is it, right? And so, like, maybe he just had maybe he stomped his pinky toe or something happened, and it's not as severe as what turf toe can be. And so I think if Brock is practicing today, he's playing. I don't care if he's limited. He's gonna play. He's gonna be questionable, game time decision, and boom, you'll have him.
Definitely gonna take it down to the wire, just like the 49ers
Game time.
love to do. So we'll be waiting on pins and needles, Wayne. But everyone that tuned in, thank you so much. This was a really fun show.
Excellent show.
Talked about a lot of topics in this one, and reminiscing about the good old times. But we're in some pretty good times right now, Wayne. So we're excited for this game on Sunday. Make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Not just mine, but Wayne's as well. Putting out some great content as always. Audio listeners, leave a rating, leave a review. But for now, folks, have a good rest of your Thursday. Back tomorrow with my preview show with KP. For now, peace.